that we are going to be doing is stuff that we know is going to cause at least is going to address the immediate situations that people in Jacksonville is facing, and we just have to find those people and work with. Like me, I'm gonna be real. Even when I had moved to like Atlanta or I moved to Valdosta, I don't have no issues if they have a soup kitchen and they need people to volunteer. Me personally, I feel like that's quality work, especially when that soup kitchen is in the predominantly black neighborhood, when it's on the south side, when it's over there on the north side, you know, especially wherever it is. I'll go and aid other people in their initiatives, and then through aiding them in their initiatives and just showing up, because that's what I got to do at this other soup kitchen where I'm at. I got to just show up there. Cause it's a couple of people I went to school with. They up there. They know a couple of people. You just go up. I help with their initiatives. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes most of the people, they be like, "Oh yeah, you're a Panther, ain't you?" But some of the people that don't know, I don't even really say it until like I kind of get on the face value, and then once I see what they're talking about, I just slide it in there. You know, okay, hey, well, study with me or read this or let's talk about this. And I think Jacksonville is gonna be the same way because honestly, Jacksonville has a lot of potential. Unfortunately, certain things that McHale did messed up Jacksonville, you know, and all of this splitting and going from this to that and this to that, you know, all of that stuff right there already threw a major city in confusion anyway. If they know him for one thing and running off of people money, all of this other weird stuff. So it's really gonna be on the youth. You know, whatever McHale is gonna do, he gonna do. You know, whatever the other guys do, it's either they gonna get with it or they not. But we just have to have some initiatives that's gonna help us and then gonna help each other because we have way more that we could do and we have way more that we could gain when we stand together than we will if we separate. So I think right now, especially what I want to do, we gonna have another one of these as well, but we want to write some things so we could put the initiatives and then we'll record it and put it out. But we want to have some things that we want to write and kind of brainstorm what that real finalized recording of us networking and planning and what it will look like. Because I do think that the basketball games is going to become spring or summer. If we could work with people and introduce that to where we could get the community basketball games to circumvent, you know, some of this youth crime, but also get people in enjoying one another. You know, all the basketball courts around Jacksonville, you know, if we do that in the well way and we get, you know, we get certain people that are real key people, which I believe in Jacksonville, if I get back around there, I'm gonna find a couple, man. I know I will. Just like I found a couple last time when I was there. Right, right. Right, right. Well, yeah, because I was in Atlanta and I seen the most diverse of African people that are from the continent than I ever have before. Like this year, I'm not in Atlanta right now though, but this well, I'm doing this job, but I'm not living in Atlanta currently. But when I was living there last year, And well, no, I was living there last year all the way until what 23 when I left Jacksonville. 22, 22, 23. Oh, right now, I'm bouncing back between two jobs from Macon and Valdosta. So these are the two places that I frequent right now for my for my work. I'm going from Macon to Valdosta. The rest of the brothers up there in the Atlanta chapter, we have a brother that was he's from the Temple of Shango, and he's a with the Otunji village in South Carolina. Yeah, so and through him, I was also able to see the most diverse through the Isheshe and Ifa and Kadamble. I'm able to experience the most diverse I've ever seen in Atlanta in this decade. I'm able to see the most diverse continental Africans there. Of course, when you go to an airport, you see many of the Ethiopian brothers and sisters. They either have the security contracts or they either have they're working the airlines with the baggage claim. Big in the airport. Yep, the own airline. So I was living on the east side, which is where most of the Somalians and most of the Eritreans lived. I was staying in between Stone Mountain and Tucker, these two cities, out there on the front street. And so I know the people are there. And I think the most important thing that we have is especially your skill set with telling us where the people are, how you're engaging with them through the text, and what they're doing, and how we can also connect with them through the initiatives, or either coming into that town and just putting the flyers down and knowing what demographic we also have to appeal to. And I think that's one of our biggest things to get all of our people. We have to understand the universal approach of the demographics we have to appeal to, especially when we highlight a Kwame Nkrumah or a Emile Carl Cabral, or even in this day and age, as we see Ibrahim Traore, we can resurrect Thomas Sankara, and that could be the voice of the people to get that
I
mode.
don't. I'm friends with him, Abraham Torre, but he haven't hit me back yet. I've been trying to get a hold of him
Man, if we
on Facebook.
right, right. Well, see, that's crazy because I did hear the ethnic group that he's a part of, the family that he's a part of, does go to the places like Ghana and Togo and things of that nature. So that's crazy. I didn't know. Right, right, right. Right, right, right.
Yes, sir.
Right. Right. Well, that Mississippi branch, if you have any way, I think how we come at this strategic is this, because it's a group, it's a branch of Panthers in Mississippi, but I just don't know how to really access to them or something.
You
Or
talking
if
about
they
Lorenzo?
would, like,
You got,
I
you,
think that's
you got,
Lorenzo.
I got it. I got in touch with him. I got
Okay.
Lorenzo and Ward ready.
Oh, you say he what?
Ward ready.
Okay, he
He's in
ready.
back
Okay.
there. Ward ready. He's already sent his app in, and I got in touch with Lorenzo. I don't know if he sent his back yet, but I sent him an app. He said he with us.
Lorenzo
He
Sims
said he
from that
never left.
Mississippi. Okay, that's what's up.
Lorenzo.
Right. Right. I I say we're gonna want to put a game plan. We're gonna want to put a certain promo behind it. We'll probably meet on this in the next week, and we want to record something, but not giving away the game plan. But we want to record probably some statements as it means to unify when it comes to unifying all of our people. You know what I'm saying? Whether in every part of the diaspora, and then what we're gonna do, we're gonna, because what I'm seeing is I see a specialty confidence, and it's really on it's also a assessment of where our people are, what everybody is doing in the area, although they're doing it separately. And you're stating that if we look at it and see how it makes its own federation, see how it makes its own nation, and we look at these as nations and families that have come together, and we really could go and unite all of our people. Because you're right, I've been in some of your WhatsApps, and I mean, it was one where Umar Johnson was actually in there. So, and you kept telling me, it was like, nah, man, he's in the chat, bro. He don't really vibe with me, but I could get him to say something on here. And I was like, oh shit, this is really Umar. So I think we'll give you the promo, and then on the regional level, we wanna advertise on your regional chats. We want to advertise New Black Panther Party, and collab regional chats. We'll give the promo, and we'll try to have these different regions to get these different organizations, these different persons, and these different organizations and federations. And that's how we'll move through the chat groups to see who's official, who's willing to do some work, who's willing to get an initiative going and form, initiative movements out of that. So we can have tasks that we're doing, stuff that we benefit from, stuff that the people benefit from, and at the same time we're unified, because it's making different organizations, different functions, and that's the united front that we need, and that's gonna make a United States of New Africa here. Yep, yep. Yeah, I-20 right there to Birmingham is it is an hour. It's real quick, and you got Columbus that sits between Georgia and Florida, and you can get to Macon through Columbus as well. And that's one of the biggest. Many would think that Atlanta is top number one, the blackest demographic in Georgia, but it's not. It's actually Columbus is number one. Yeah, there is a new African district there. I used to be in the PGRNA when I first had came out, 2015, 2016. Uh, I think that's called the John Henry Clark district, because John Henry Clark is from Columbus. I think that's the John Henry Clark. They used to have they had a New African Day many years back in Columbus. That's John Henry Clark district. Yeah. Right, right, right. Right, right. Right, right. Right, right. Yeah, 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 yeah. Every time I seen you, you had on the dashiki. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was a dashiki, a mud cloth. Yeah. So you're insisting that we also build the infrastructure for us so that when it comes to economic issues, we already have ways and means that we build jobs, we build trades. Because I see that you refer to the South as the trade district. So I know one of the biggest trades that we have down here is always the agriculture. You know, Jacksonville is huge, and it has all the fresh seafood. It has all the tropical fruits and vegetables, and they have many different former what are they? What's that one I go to? We having the peanuts with the lemon pepper boiled peanuts. Shoot. Right. You see what I'm saying? You get the fresh peanuts there. You know, so we have all kind of farmer markets and all kind of farmer markets, all kind of farmer markets and stuff like that. So I definitely think when it comes to what we do, we got to get back in the field. We got to, whether it be urban gardening in town or whether it be somewhere rural, we got to get back in the field. We got to find ways to huddle up and come together and, you know, whether it be renting some land or whether it be purchasing an acre or purchasing a quarter of an acre just to grow, you know, vegetables and sell these things, you know. One of the biggest things that we have, everybody wants watermelon. If we able to get fresh watermelons from down south and really put them on, get box trucks and move throughout and have fresh fruits and vegetables going throughout every uh fresh fruits and vegetables going throughout every region, every state, you know, whatever it is that everybody can grow, whatever that cash crop is in their region, you know, we focus on that. Whatever it is, the bare essentials that they eat every day, let's focus on that. Because then if we doing that, then now we can take our mouth out of the what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad calls the white man's pantry, you know, that gets us sick. We could take our mouth out of his refrigerator, you know what I'm saying? And then we can have our own where we have fresh vegetables, we have fresh produce, and we eating our own produce, you know, and these things, and we showing people how to plant, showing people, because me, myself, I'm already in the Master Gardener program. You know what I'm saying? I come from an agricultural background, whether it be my grandfather and, you know what I'm saying, all of that. But I also was in school, you know what I'm saying, in the future formers of an ag class and stuff like that. So these things is one of the things that we look at in Tent City in Lowndes County with the Panthers in Alabama. They were staying in air. They come the people that was the Panthers in Lowndes County. Most of them were sharecroppers. The majority of them, you know, even before them, and Mississippi Democratic Freedom Organization with Fannie Lou Hamer. These people were sharecroppers. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they wanted the government seat too, but these people could grow something. And we need to restore that. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing that we looked at with the Panther Party, down south, they had already got land. You know, they had already had land that whether they took it over and they was living there because, you know, police repression in Lowndes County, Alabama was so hard that these people, you're right, they couldn't keep their jobs because they was doing the black power down there. Yeah, their house was getting shot up. The Klan was trying to come after them. People was getting hung, you know, and Lowndes County was called Bloody Lowndes. It had the highest count of lynchings ever. Way before it was the Panther Party, there in 65, it always had high lynchings. So when we looked at these people, they were growers. And I think we got to get back to growing. We got to get back to producing our own. Because when we say free
Hey,
the land, we need to have some
hey,
vegetables in the hand. Go ahead, sir. My
hey,
bad.
we got 40 acres in El Paso. Do whatever we want to do.
Oh, well, there it is. There it is. There it is right there.
So the lady she's in Dallas. She has 40 acres of land. We can do whatever we want to with it. She's
Oh,
the one
wow.
that created our NBP Black Pages
Oh,
website.
okay.
She's the one that created the NBP website, Black Pages, and she has 40 acres of land. We can do whatever we want to with it. Just have to
Right.
clear it off and cultivate it.
Right.
She
Okay,
has
that's good then.
220. She has
Because that means all
220.
we got to do is rent a bush hog or whatever else and bring some till diggers, and there we got some right there. And we could work on laying it out and doing what needs to be done.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, there it is. You're right. Wow. Right, right. Yep. Yeah, yeah, cause I was in the library or somewhere downtown one day, and I think yeah, it was either that big library over there by the in that square. I can't remember what it's called downtown, but I had read in that, was it in that library? Somewhere in that library, it was having the history of Jacksonville and everything, and da 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 da. I, it said that Jacksonville is the largest city, or Duval is the something like that. Jacksonville is the largest city per capita in the whole United States due to how spread out it is. Now to anybody hearing that, they wouldn't believe it. But if you drive through there, because we got the east side and the west side, right? You feel me? And the east side from Atlantic Boulevard, all that to the beach boulevard. You know what I'm saying? Then you got the west side, but the west side, people be mentioning 103rd and all of that over there, but the west side that goes past Orange Park. You know what I mean? So and I-95 splits the whole city. And look, we ain't even touched on North Side. You feel me? So, like, when we think of how big that place is and it takes so long to get everywhere, like that, I think that's the biggest issue. Because going to New York and most of these northern cities, what I understood is it don't take you, like, they be having problem with people that stay a couple blocks away. That ain't no issue. You can handle that. Like, we be having problem with people that's like on the other side of the city. That's kind of, and the other side of the city ain't like the other side of the city of it ain't like the other side of the city like Brooklyn. It ain't the other side of the city like Memphis. It ain't the other side of the city like Jackson. It ain't the other side of the city. The only thing that I think that'll probably come close to that, uh Orlando or something like that. You know what I mean? Just because of how it's built. And that's our issue. Now, when it comes to the north, we know that the South does have an influence on the North, but also there's a great migration happening right now as well, where a lot of people are coming from the North back down to the South, like the random rural cities, just because they got family ties or grandmama or somebody, a great grandparent, and everything getting too high in the North. There's a lot of people that left Jersey. There's a lot of people that left Brooklyn. Um, but it's a lot of Jersey people down here. They all in Atlanta. They everywhere. They everywhere running down here. We got a lot of people in Chicago and Atlanta. We got a lot of people from Memphis in Atlanta. We got a lot of people from Cali in Atlanta. We got a lot of people from and then not just in Atlanta, they going to Birmingham, they going to Savannah, they going to Columbus. A lot of Miami people move back to Valdosta. A lot of Florida people in Valdosta because Valdosta has a Florida vibe anyway. It's right there to Tallahassee, but Jacksonville and all that, Lake City, the I-10. So we seeing a great migration of everybody come back down south anyway, but everything is already high here. It's a lot of people in Cleveland, specifically as well, that came down south. One brother that came through with us, his name was Cameron, but he has a new African name now. I think they call him Brother Akil Akbara there in Cleveland. That brother talks about the history of Cleveland. He talks about what the youth of Cleveland are doing because there's no jobs in Cleveland. I've been to Cleveland. Cleveland, wow. Okay. Oh, wait, well, hold on. What the brother look like? Is he light skinned? Is that's the same brother that was down there in Jacksonville teaching people how to do bees down there on Myrtle? Is it? Nah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. When I get down there, show me. But it was a one sister because she had wanted to join the new Black Panther Party, but then I think she was interested in QEP or something. It got weird. But she was from Cleveland too, and she had put me on to this one light-skinned brother that was from up there that knew the history, and he was doing some bees. Me and him was supposed to link up. Okay. Well, it's a collective of people in Cleveland, and they growing bees, man, all up in there. Yeah, hey, look, exactly. And so they was putting me on the history of how this bees and honey is African and da 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 da. And I'm like, hold on, man, like I'm with you. But they was putting me on some high science. So okay, the brother ain't never been to Jacksonville, but they up there in Cleveland. It's a brother from Cleveland that I met from a woman that was staying in Jacksonville that was from Cleveland. I can't remember her name. I was doing some work with them. There was a part of some other group down from B and Son Art Shop. I can't remember the name though. Dang. Um, it escapes me, bro. But what had happened was when I met the guy, they were saying something was happening in Cleveland to where people could petition to get land, but they had to have LLCs and some other stuff going on. So it's Cleveland is almost like how Detroit was when everything fell in Detroit. Not how Detroit is now, but like how when everything failed, the first 4 years, that's how Cleveland is. You know, they got to go all the way to the east side, well, out of the east side and into the suburbs to get good vegetables and produce. Now, there's an old Panther chapter from Cleveland. They was Panthers up under Khaled and I think the first 2 years of Malik. And they're a part of the Red All Green Network. They recently, probably 2 years ago, sometime during COVID, because the farmers market had shut down and was closed for like a whole year. They was able to get the farmers market and manage it. Now I don't know what they doing now. I think the brother's name was Abdul Kareem or something like that. I can't remember or something. Can't remember. He was in the Nation of Islam too. He said he met me, but I don't remember meeting the brother. He knew who I was, what month. I can't remember, but Cleveland is like Detroit. So that's an area that we have to go down to. And for half of the reason why Cleveland always was like that, one brother was giving me the knowledge that the place had got burnt down in the 70s. Many of the abandoned lots that are there today have been abandoned lots for 50 something years, 40 something years, you know, 40 something years, 50 something years, you know, however many years. And it was during these where Afro Set was at its height, the Republic of New Libya was at its height, you know, the Black Panthers was at its height, with although they played parts inside of Afro Set and you know, them coming the Black Panthers in Cleveland, they lineage goes to LA via Watts from Bunchy Carter, I believe the history goes. Some brother put me down on the history. So you're right what you're saying. What I want to do is also get a map, and with these areas, we want to be able to kind of highlight it on that map so that we all have a place or a visual that we have of reference to tie it in so we can see it for what it is. Because logistically, you're accurate. Yeah, yeah, and it's so quick. It is 3 hours. It's called the Cuyahoga Corridor Railroad or something like that. Cuyahoga Railroad. It's so small that what's happening is that there's a high mass of sex trafficking, there's a high mass of pimping and kidnapping in Cleveland, in Detroit, in Chicago, those Midwest areas, and that's what it all runs to. You know, they run those interstates and then they go into Canada. Yeah, man, you got to look it up, man. A lot of our people is missing, like hundreds by the month. Yeah. Well, no, I appreciate you because you sent me a brother. One of the brothers in Atlanta, you sent me. Well, I mean, I don't know if you know you sent me him, but he came to me and was like, "Yeah, I met this brother Confidence," and I'm like, "Hold on," but he had went to something about Akbar and Bobby Worthy. You had linked them up to one of them, and he went with Bobby Worthy, and through Bobby Worthy, well, no, was that Bobby Worthy? It might have been. Nah, I didn't get a brother Breon. I got a brother Obadina. Yeah. Yeah. And he had moved to Atlanta. Yeah, when he moved to Atlanta, I linked in with him. Yeah, the brother's kind of known. He has a network of his own. But not only that, he did security, and I didn't know that he did security too. So I was working a security job. This brother thorough, you know what I'm saying? I asked his name, he linked in. He does community work with hope hustlers and violence intervention, but he at schools and stuff like that. And matter of fact, he was the rapper Quavo had a turkey giveaway, right? And I was invited, but I couldn't make it. I had the security gig, but I didn't know it was a turkey giveaway with Quavo. But it was a list of organizations, and Quavo's organization was there. But the event was thrown by the event that Obadina people is there. So you know, with Obadina's group, the Hope Hustlers, he does his Panther work through that. And also, when he goes out and he does security at clubs and at events, he has his Panther patch on. He went through the probationary period and everything when Malik was under Malik. Yeah. So I've been working with him, man. The brother had a gig. I didn't get to make it again, so I missed the Quavo turkey giveaway when they was giving, and then they had another one. This is the one where people said they was shooting at the rapper Woody. Whatever. It was in Mechanicsville. And then the next one I couldn't make, but I made the next one. But this was a job he had for me at some security place. So I met him in one of these cities. It wasn't nothing for me. You know, it was above Cordell, around Cordell. And from like 12 o'clock to 5 o'clock in the morning, we working at a club. It's me, him, some other people. You know, we got our security clothing on. It was a couple of wild stuff. We, you know, of course, we armed, you know, we licensed security, all of that. We did that with Panther patches all through the night, man. 12 o'clock to 4 o'clock in the morning, man. Matter of fact, it closed early. We were supposed to do that, but we made like $180 and it closed at like 3 o'clock. So 12 to 3. And we made $180. Habisha Inc. Ah, okay. I was wrong. Okay. Wow. Okay, so that brother got a whole other thing going on as well. He did tell me he recommended me of looking into some cattle and that we look into the piney wood cattle and the piney woods. Now, when he was speaking of the piney wood, I understood his language because me being a gardener and a farmer myself, I was taught that the piney wood was kin to that was the original cattle. You know, many people think it's the Texas Longhorn, but the Longhorn wasn't there first. It comes from the cows that started in Florida, the first cowboys and the cattlemen. And these cows was brought in from Saint Domingue, which is I think Haiti, and they were bred from the Canary Islands off the coast of Africa. And Spain had brought them to Haiti and then into Florida. From Florida, this bull was called the Creole, but as it roamed free, it would make the cracker bull for the cracker, and then it would make the piney wood. And then from the cracker, the Creole, and the piney wood, they would later get a Texas Longhorn. You know, and this piney wood cattle is smaller than the Angus. So he put me on game, man, and was really reminding me why. You know, because that piney wood cattle, they call them piney woods because they live into the pine, the South Georgia and Florida pine. They'll live off into the woods by themselves. And what they had to do was they had the cattle herd them, you know, to take them back because you had to find them. They would cut the ear of the cattle so you know whose it is, or they branded a certain way. And the piney wood could pack as much meat as an Angus, but the bones is thicker. You get more meat, and it's better meat. Like you get more meat with the Angus and all that other stuff, but you have to give the Angus all kind of medicines and probiotics. The piney woods are disease resistant. You know what I'm saying? So he was talking some farm stuff to me. So you saying that that's how you met him through? I'm just saying I definitely believe that because the brother was giving some knowledge on farming. Like, okay, so he does other stuff. Okay, all right. Yeah. Well, see, I say this about Valdosta, like, if you heard about Mary Turner, the anti-lynching bill, and the song "Strange Fruit," all of that goes to Valdosta. That's where one of the strongest Ku Klux Klan chapter from its founding all the way to 1930. Um, yeah. Facts, facts. Yeah, if you look at an old map, you'll see that Mississippi at one time is present day Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia. You know what I mean? Or one time Georgia when Georgia was expanded, something like that. But all of it is really the same kind of. Yeah, West Florida as well. Yep, yep, yep. Well, because Florida actually goes all the way to Cordell or something like that. Originally, the original map before Oglethorpe did whatever he did with Mary Musgrove, the original map, East Florida, West Florida, all went all the way up to Cordell, I believe, Adale or something like that. I mean, Cordell was called the South Georgia Gateway or something like that, the gateway to the South, something like that. But that's where the National Watermelon Festival, that was like famous in the world, happened. You know what I mean? It was so famous that people made caricatures, to mock our people and also to mock the watermelon farmers of the South. That's Cordell. Yep. Yep. Right, right. Oh man, hey man, I'm gonna just say the way that he came by me, man. The dude is the dude is, yeah, he's thorough, man. Right, right. Oh yeah, yeah. Because I didn't know he used to be a professional football player. When I seen him, he was huge though, so I knew he played sports. I knew he played. I knew he was a football. I said, and he was like, nah, but I found out. You know what I mean? So yeah, and then I was linked in with some of the people that he just talked to, and some of the people he talked to told me about him. And I just seen what he was doing and where he was at with it, and I just knew In my mind, because I said, okay, I may be assistant and stuff, but in my mind, I said, well, this not only is he a community liaison, he kind of knows how to handle and give the direction and really see a format, with real training, when things happen. He definitely is a leader, natural born, you know. Yeah, yeah, man. He had mentioned you. I didn't tell him like I knew you. He had mentioned you and said something about like Bobby or the Akbar or something was happening, some unification, and he had found out, whatever with Akbar, and so he had came over and how did I find this man? How did I find this man? I really don't know. Yeah, he came my way, bro. He was hanging with all of them, and some kind of way. I think it was through Bobby though. I ain't. I'm gonna be like this. I'll tell you this about Bobby. Like when I was a little kid, I wasn't like real little, but I do remember Bobby Worthy. Right? He was slim. Used to wear black leather coats all the time, shades. I ain't gonna really tell his street business, right? But he used to come to these youth, like the MLK marches, because MLK had mentored some people in the SCLC and some members of SNCC, and they all became like the matriarchs and patriarchs of Valdosta. So they always had an MLK parade, and they had helped get his birthday recognized as just all this other stuff on the low. But I remember Bobby. I remember him doing some Pantherisms when I was younger, but I don't even think he was Panthering. Like, bro was in the, I ain't even gonna tell his business, but he knows some people and he had helped them out at this church somewhere in Douglas, in rural coffee somewhere. And some of those people is my family. You know what I mean? So I had already, this was probably 5 years ago, but I had already seen Bobby Worthy. Nah, hold on, I'm 30 something. I'm tripping. Nah, way many years, but I had seen Bobby Worthy in my teens. You know what I'm saying? So, but I had seen him in my teens, and he was trying to mentor people, and certain things happened. But he wasn't from Valdosta though. He had just always came to Valdosta. He was from somewhere else. You know what I mean? I'll be real. This guy was moving around Georgia. But one thing I will say about him, although he did some wrong shit, um, the best thing he ever did to me was bring over Dina. That's what I can say about him. Cause I didn't know um that the brother had a willingness, a wantingness to aid the program, and that he was already doing these programs. I didn't know. I just listened to the brother on the phone. I met up with him a couple times, seen what it was. No, no, I talked to him a couple times, woo, 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 and then I met up with him and really played the cut and seen what it was, and I was like, oh, okay. So I just took it on faith, like when he met you and I met him, that was just, it was the way of the alley oop, even if you didn't mention my name. You know what I mean? Because I knew what it was already when he mentioned you. So I said, okay, cool. You know, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah. Y'all all in Stone Mountain. Yeah, it do look weird when you think about it. How like I do, man. Whenever I show up in the city, I be like, "Where they at, though? Like, where they at?" I don't know, man. It'd be kind of confusing to me. It was a lot of people that was claiming it, and then yeah, I feel it. Yeah, it's just like, damn. I'm trying to activate them, man. I'm trying to activate them because we had something, even in the NBA. Well, well, I will say this: the situation with ozone. I, a lot of other people that when you met me, you didn't meet me like way before, but even past Tulsa, the situation with what happened with Infact and Ozone, a lot of people that was around me in the beginning, ain't around. You know what I mean? They don't want to do this. Don't want to be involved. Don't want to talk to nobody. Don't even want to, you know what I mean? Even when I was supposed to be coming into the new Black Panther Party, but Hashim was still living. And even when Malik, we was on the phone conference, there was a group of the people that was already supposed to come and join, but you know what I'm saying, when stuff happened and then Hashim died, people didn't come. Already, it was just many different things. People just didn't. I mean, some of the people I did hang with, you got Kamani Sadiq is still doing what he doing, over there in fact, but when it come down to it, a lot of these people with ozone, they just fell back. You know what I mean? So, I will say that's one of the reasons. But also that a mod situation. Yeah. Right, right, right. Yeah. Right. We want more persons. We want more people. I think this is what's coming. There's a time now, like when we do the mathematics of this year, and it's 2025. That equals up, to the common number nine. When you just add the two, zero, two, the five, you get nine. And nine represents born. So this year in itself, anything that we do the knowledge on and put our time to and really work through them steps, it's gonna be born. We gonna make knowledge born, regardless. So I think we just have to make sure that we keep people that have the right spirit, people that are sincere, and people that are really trying to figure this out and make this something formidable that our children's can see, smell, touch, taste, and hear, like for real. And I believe that we have the potential to do it, and I believe we will do it because everybody is really on make it happen time, and as long as we have a time, as long as we have a time and a place to always keep in contact with each other and we check in with another in the form of not checking in like visiting, but we talk about, these things that we talked about now, we're planning together. We will always we will always have our objectives accomplished. Well, see, yeah, yeah, and that's what I'm about to say. Well, see, the gateway right now, like with Valdosta, right? The big thing is the Kendrick Johnson. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's the big thing. Yeah, that's at Lowndes. That's at the county school at Lowndes County. But yeah, so it's Lowndes County, Georgia. Yeah, Valdosta. So that's the Kendrick Johnson. What happened to Kenyatta little brother? In the gym, et cetera, et cetera. So that's the big thing now, where the GBI, one of the top officials in the GBI had, what I'm saying, put hands and murdered dude, you know, in Lowndes County. And when they called it in, the VPD, the Lowndes County Sheriff, and the GBI all were on the scene with the body, and the parents didn't even know their son was missing because he was missing for a minute, man. Then they found him the next day. It was kind of weird. They didn't find him that day. They found him the next day. You know. Well, one thing that we always have to understand is he who controls he who can control he who control the money can control the judicial, and he who controls the judicial can control the balance of justice. So that's another thing that we have to understand down here is that the lines of death for black people is just that serious because he's just not the only person to just up and disappear around here. It was one guy that used to walk on 84 going from Quitman to Valdosta, and he was found off into the bushes hanging with his own belt. You know what I mean? All kind of weird shit be happening. But in order to get a Valdosta right, because they had, who did they have down here? They had brought the Israel United in Christ. It's a group that's here anyway. They real strong. They be downtown. But anyway, they brought like over 100 and something Israel United in Christ brothers with black boots, black pants, and purple cotton shirts. And they drilled and marched all the way from uh what it was, all the way from the gravesite of Kendrick, all the way to Lowndes High School. Yeah. That was like 7 miles, yo. Yeah. Hey, brother, Israel United in Christ dudes is crazy. It was hot that day, man. They're from the grave site. No, it was was it from the south? Nah, it was from the grave site. Because they had a ball. The Kendrick Johnson family has a non-profit program for them. You know what I mean? They have a non-profit program for them now. So in order to get a Valdosta, you're gonna have to go ahead and unlock Columbus. You're gonna have to see what Macon, you already got a new African population there with a black bookstore, but you're gonna have to unlock Savannah, and then you gotta unlock Columbus. Valdosta is already on conscious time, but people ain't moving like that in Lowndes because it's a strong white supremacist money game here. You see what I'm saying? You gotta Savannah, Columbus, Jacksonville, Atlanta. Right, right, right. Okay. Right, 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 right. So I tell you, this how I'm gonna do it, right? I'm gonna call you next week on Thursday around the same time, and I'm gonna have some notes to bring, and I'm gonna have some updates. Is that cool? Can we do that? Yeah, Beaufort, South Carolina is very relevant. Right, 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 right. Right. That means that there's a colonial. Right. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Is that Ebony? Sister. She go by Raw Ebony. Yeah, yeah. Link me in with her, bro. Yeah, if you can. Yeah, if you can link that in, man, that'll be what's up. Well, I say that I wouldn't be able to get that per se, but I could contact somebody in Charleston. Yeah. All right. So what we want to do is I got somebody in Charleston. I'll tell you, and they sent me some news. Last week there was a Ku Klux Klan group that had a march through it. So yeah. So what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just go ahead and hit some of my contacts. Give me your number right now so I can make sure I have it. All right, bet, bet, bet. Woo. Woo, 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 woo. Right. Woo, 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 woo. So
Okay, that's
I,
fine. You can
all
send as
right, so
many
that's why I
people
say,
out.
yeah, yeah.
You
Next
you can send
Thursday,
the whole
hit me
country our
back
way.
same time, and I have some improvements there.
So you can send everybody that you know our way that's connected internationally and nationally. That's the Central Community email. Yes, sir. I get your emails. Have you sent one lately? You talking about international? You talking about international or national?
Oh yeah, I heard about that group. I know who you're talking about. Yeah, yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah. In India, I think the group is called like the Dalits or something. It's like this dark skinned Indian group. Yeah. Right, right, right. Right. All right.
Yes, sir.
All
Yes,
right, bet.
sir.
I'll send you
We're
the
gonna
email.
we're gonna
I definitely thank you, man, for real. We're gonna
we're
do this
gonna check.
strategically and really highlight these places that our people are.
Are we
Brother
gonna
Matulu Nazir, I thank you, sir, for having me on. National Chief of Staff. I appreciate it.
are we gonna are we gonna are we gonna meet again next week? This time, same time,
I believe we should.
8 o'clock your time.
Yeah, that'd be best. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Right, right. Right, right. I'm with that. I definitely thank you, man. I we're gonna have some improvements from now till Thursday, man, and we definitely gonna put this together, man. I appreciate you for your hard work and effort, and I'm glad to see you in this year. You know, just as I seen you in the past. For real. Hey, I gotta move around, man. I gotta move around and see what's out there. You know, you're gonna always say I'm gonna pass a flyer or something, regardless, man. So I'm glad. Right, right, right. It's a Eiffel temple around there that's real big on that. So as soon as I get there and I just chop it up with them, we can see how things go. And then we got another Panther brother down there that I think could boost the morale. Um, Right, okay, okay, okay. Right. That's very true. No, I'm always mobile. See, that's the thing. Like, I'm always mobile. I'm moving because when it goes to these two sites I go to for work, one is with a different company. The both they with two different companies. You see what I'm saying? So I'm doing security with two different companies, two different sites doing whole different things. So I'm always mobile. You see what I'm saying? And Atlanta is always the headquarters, whether it be for the organization or whether it be for a place for me to go and rest my head in Atlanta due to, living up there, the connections I got up there. But Valdosta is a place that I'm familiar with because I was born there. You know what I mean, and have a connection. And Macon, that being the home of James Brown, the heart of the South or whatever, that's another place where I worked around in that area as well. And it's a lot of Black Muslims moving in the Macon and Fort Valley area because it's a lot of land out there, you know. So I had did security in some of the apartment complexes in Fort Valley, make these areas. Right, 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 right. Yeah. Right. Right. Indeed. It's the start of something powerful. Appreciate you. All right. Well,
Yes, sir.
nice first. Bye bye.